Hey Gemini, what's going on? We are here for another reading today for you guys. For anybody that doesn't know, if you are curious, I don't pick the readings that we do, whether it be a zodiac reading or it be a collective reading. I don't pick who the reading is for. I have a deck that I use, and whatever comes out in that deck is who I do the reading for. So I have like one for every zodiac sign and then one card for collective, and then whatever it is that pops out, that's the reading that I do. So that is how it gets determined. I mean, technically I am still picking, but picking from a deck. So that's why sometimes we have certain signs that get focused on, or like today we have a double reading for Gemini because Gemini came out twice. So just in case anybody wanted to know. We are starting off with King of Swords. King of Swords also came out in the other Gemini reading, and we have King of Pentacles, Two of Swords. Having both King of Pentacles and King of Swords, there can be these two parts of you that are trying, like King of Pentacles and King of Swords, and then having Two of Swords. This can mean like you have maybe two very different perspectives right now. And there can be one part of you that's holding one perspective, another part of you that's holding another perspective, and they need to agree, but they may not be agreeing right now. And so you can feel kind of stuck at that point. Having Page of Cups, this is about making a choice where you feel like you're really following your heart here, and there can even be something about instinctively what you're feeling. And this looks like it is leading you into a new chapter. When we have King of Swords and King of Pentacles, there are these archetypes within you that may both be saying like, I have an important opinion or an important perspective, don't disregard me. It can feel a little bit like they're clashing though, or that they're too much opposing and you can't really get them on the same page. I believe that commonly when we have it's not Page of Cups, when we have Knight of Cups, we have Knight of Cups here. Having Knight of Cups here feels like if you tap into the heart of the King of Swords within you, and if you tap into the heart of the King of Pentacles within you, they will both tell you the same thing and make the decision based off of that. Don't hold yourself back. There may be something more like passionate or fiery that you're going to be doing, or brave, or taking a chance. It's a good time to be doing this. Feels like this will get you far. Maybe there's a part of you that wanted to be more conservative, but there can be another part of you that's like, why? I don't think that that's necessary. You're not being told that you need to really hold back here. Will it be enough though? Maybe that's what needed to be decided upon. This can also be something going on with you and another person where you guys needed to come to some sort of agreement. Okay. Moving too quickly into things without reflecting and without thinking about it can have you feeling like you're doing too much on a personal level. I wonder for some of you if there's something going on where with King of Pentacles, there can be a part of you that maybe wants to advance, but you can be not sure of whether or not that's a sound choice to be making here, don't bite off more than you can chew. Because you could possibly make a choice that's more on the emotional side, more on an emotionally reactive side, possibly. And that can be putting too much on your plate. Meaning, maybe you have somebody coming to you and saying, hey, can you do me this favor? And even though you're capable of doing it, you need to look around and read the room as far as what you have going on. And make sure that you're not taking on too much, because it's not about whether you're capable or not. You're being shown as the King of Pentacles, so you're very much capable of doing whatever this is that I feel like is being asked of you. At the same time, though, I feel like you have a lot going on here and you want to make sure that you're not putting too much on your plate. But for some of you, you may not always, or at least let's say in this situation, okay? It may be one of those situations where if you do not think about this and you just sort of react emotionally, like, look at this person appealing to my emotions and let me just say yes, and then you're stuck being like, I shouldn't have taken this on, this was too much, and then it's not going to be what you need it to be, and you need to pay attention to this so you don't get stuck in this situation. It's not that you're not capable, but maybe there's a part of you that just wants to say yes to everything in this case, or maybe this particular person, or whatever it is here. Because King of Pentacles is that part of you that, like, you want to be seen as that person that if somebody asks you to do something, you can do it. And I'm seeing that you're capable of, but you can only do so much. And so having this Ten of Wands says, do not put too much on your plate. Make sure that you are weighing what it is that you're saying yes to and making sure that it is sustainable for you to be doing, rather than doing something and feeling like that wasn't a good use of your resources, your time, your energy, that you would have preferred to spend it on something else, because you only have so much. And it feels like really needing to pay attention to that. I feel too, though, that there's like room for pause here, because I'm seeing this person come through and say, hey, can you do this? Can you be a part of this? Can I mark you down for this job? And even though there may be a part of you that wants to, I feel like it's not a good time to be doing it, and you need to pay attention to that. Because this is meant to be a new chapter that you're taking on, where I think you're focusing some more on yourself and what you need. And maybe there's been a big focus on work, on responsibilities, on more external or more public life. But I'm seeing there be a chapter that looks like what you're starting is a chapter that's more focused on your personal life. And so if you were to say yes to this without checking in, or maybe there's a relationship even that you want to be focusing on more, and it can be a relationship with yourself or a relationship with the things going on in your personal life in general. If you were to say yes without thinking about this, it feels like your instinct as the King of Pentacles may be actually to say yes to this immediately. And then when push comes to shove, you're going to look and be like, I should have thought about that and then given my answer. I shouldn't have just automatically said yes to this. And now what am I going to do? So it feels like before you do all of that and say yes automatically, take the time to think about this, because I think that you're going to end up actually saying no to what this is, because it's going to take away from a new chapter that you're intending to start, where there's more of a focus on you. You can come up. More of a focus on you within your personal life and what you have going on, and again, like with your personal relationships and whatnot. And because of that, that can put too much of a strain on you and what you're able to do within your personal life. It's basically like if you needed to spend like 6 out of the 24 hours that you have in your personal life doing something, this is asking you to take away from that. And I think that that connection isn't automatically being made. Needing to think this through, so you are making that connection and saying, if I make this choice, it's going to affect that over there. And I've already made a commitment in my head that this is what's going to be happening. And so I'm going to have to not automatically say yes to this. It feels like your instinct may be, as the King of Pentacles, which is the part of you that likes to, somebody comes around and asks you to do something, this is the part of you that likes to automatically say yes. That part of you needs to take a back seat, because there's another part of you that's showing up and saying, this is what we need to be focusing on. There's going to be a little bit of like a shifting in the narrative is what this seems like. There can be a part of you that doesn't like to say no. I think this is just part of a change for you where you're prioritizing yourself more when maybe you weren't doing that before. You could have been prioritizing more your external life, your external persona more. And it feels like it was putting too much of a strain on things. And so that's why this new chapter is beginning. And needing to think about that and think about that part of yourself. And some of you, this can be somebody in your personal life that you want to like build more of a relationship with. And so you have to take that energy that you would use for whatever this is that's coming in and saying, hey, can you do this? You saying like, I've already committed to this thing over here or with this person. And to think about that and then make the choice accordingly. Because there may be a part of you that still, as the King of Pentacles, you want to take this on, but then it's going to impact another area of your life that you won't want it to impact, and needing to think about that, how that's connected. But yeah, there can be a part of you that like doesn't really want to do this, but feeling kind of like you need to, because this is the goal that you've set for yourself. You just need to use your discernment. That's literally it. So I'm seeing that you're going to be getting a message, okay? Somebody's going to come through and they're going to say, hey, I have this idea. Will you do this? Or I want you to be in on this. I want to sign you up for this or sign you on. Can you play this role? Can you play this part? Can you do this job? And you may immediately want to say yes. You just need to think about what you're choosing something when you say that. So just think about what it is ultimately that you're choosing and what will impact what if you make that choice. And if that is something that if you want those consequences. And is this supporting sort of a bigger goal that you have for yourself? Because I see in one area of your life, you can see this as being an opportunity, but is this something that you need to take this on right now? Is it maybe bypassing something else that you want to actually be focusing on? Would this be putting too much on your plate? It's not that you can't do it all. I think it's more a question of, do you think that you should be doing all of that? And if you have some type of issue or insecurity about like needing to be perceived as capable, or your self-worth being tied into how much you can say yes to and do, this is something that can be challenged at this time. You want to make sure that what you're using your energy for is aligned with where you are emotionally, and that you're not making a disconnected choice here, or one that creates more of a disconnect or a disconnect in the first place. And you can even be asking yourself, what relationship is most important to you? Or which relationships are most important to you? Or which archetypes are most important to you? And are you neglecting any of them within yourself? Because I am seeing this new chapter here, which feels like this is what's supposed to be happening. I'm seeing kind of like a game plan. Okay, and I feel like King of Swords comes through and he's like, hey, do you want to add this onto your plate? And you get to make the choice of whether that's a yes or a no. If all you have to do is see all of the pieces of it, do not automatically give it an answer. All you have to do is look at all of the pieces of this, see how they're all connected, and then make your decision from there. That's it. That's all that needs to be done. The only thing that I'm seeing that says don't do this is do not answer automatically without thinking about how this impacts everything else. Because then you're going to look back and be like, and it's something that you can avoid. And it's not going to be the end of the world if you automatically say yes and then you have to deal with that, but this can be avoided, and so that's what the reading is saying. But it's not the end of the world if you say yes, or if you already did that and now you're like, what do I do now? But I have a sneaking suspicion here that for most of you, you didn't give an answer yet about this, and that it's telling you to look at everything, not in a vacuum. Look at it within the bigger context of the other things that you have going on. Because I feel kind of like you have a list, you have a plan, okay, for what's going to be happening. Ready to carry that out, no issues with it. It feels very solid. Somebody's coming through and saying, will you add this to your list? But if you add it to your list, it feels like it's going to throw off the balance a bit. So just look at everything and assess it, and then make your choice from that place. Rather than looking at just the one thing that's coming through, forgetting about the list in that moment, looking at the one thing coming through and be like, yeah, I can do that, but then not realizing how that will impact everything else. And that's what happens when we look at something in a vacuum. We look at it without seeing or placing it and understanding the relationship that will have, or the impact, the effect that will have on everything else that we have going on. Look at this from a zoomed out perspective, so you can really see not just that immediate task or thing that you would be signing on for, but how that would affect everything else. Okay? All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love. Hold on, I'm getting something. If you were to say yes to whatever this is, you may be putting some like undue stress on somebody else, because they may have to pick up your weight because there's already something that you like committed to or signed on for. So be mindful of that too. The way that this, for some of you, this is going to affect another person or impact another person. That it feels like you already sort of have something going on. It feels like this, for those of you that this is another person, there's potentially going to be 3 people involved in this, including you. For those of you that you have this other person, that's the Queen of Pentacles, be involved in this, it feels like you already sort of have a plan with that person. And this is somebody that you're intimately tied to, okay? You already have a plan that's connected with this person. This other person that's coming through, if you were to take that on, it feels like it will affect things between you and the initial person. And you may not want that. So you just need to pay attention and make sure, because it feels like this choice that you make, it's not only going to impact you, it will also impact this other person too. And so do with that what you will. Thank you everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.